Hello everyone. Myself, Lokesh Rathod. I am teaching mathematics for last 10 years and I am teaching online for almost 5 years. I am ex-faculty, Talent Career Institute. Now, today's topic for demo is quadratic functions and we'll be emphasizing specifically on graphing of quadratic function. So this topic is from Algebra 1. Now, key concept. What is quadratic function? So any function of the form y equal to ax square plus bx plus c is known as quadratic function. Here a cannot be 0. For example, I have y is equal to 2x square minus 3x plus 4. So this is quadratic function. I have y is equal to negative 7x square plus 9x minus 8. This is quadratic function. If I write y is equal to 8x square minus 15, that is also quadratic function. And if I write y is equal to simply x square, so that is also a quadratic function. So what are these a, b, c? So a is coefficient of x square. So in this case, a is 2. Here with x square, what is multiplied? Negative 7. So a is negative 7. Here a is 8 and here a is 1 because with x square what is multiplied? 1 is multiplied. Keep one thing in mind. Whenever we are writing 1x square, it is same as x square. Correct? So when they write x square, it is same as 1x square. So a is 1. What are b and c? So b is coefficient of x, the number which is multiplied with x. So here b is negative 3 because with x negative 3 is multiplied. Here b is 9. Here b is 0 because with x there is no number. No number means 0. We do not have any term containing x. Right? So here b is 0. And same way here also b is 0. And what is c? So c is constant number. Term without x. Term without variable. So here c is 4. Here c is negative 8. Here c is negative 15. And here you do not have any constant number. So c is 0. Now how does graph of quadratic function looks like? The shape of graph of quadratic function is like this, like this, like this. And the name of this shape is parabola. Name of this shape is parabola. So the graph of quadratic function may look like this. Correct? Y equal to x square is a standard quadratic function, or rather you can say it's a basic quadratic function. Right? Then you have any variation of this y equal to x square or other quadratic functions. Right? So you change graph of y equal to x square and you do get some other quadratic functions. Right? Now, what is domain and range? So see, domain means input. Domain means input. And range means output. What is input? Input is x values. Input is x values. Suppose the graph is y is equal to x square plus 2x plus 1. So what is input? Input is x value. You put x value of x, x0, x1, x2, x3, and so on. So that is input. So what is input? Input is x values. And what is output? Output is y values. So domain is input, that is x values. Range is output, that is y values. In graph, x values corresponds to values on x-axis. Y values corresponds to values on y-axis. For example, in this function, y is equal to x squared minus 4x minus 5. What is domain? So domain is input, x values. Now I can put value of x as any number. Right? I can put any number as x. I can put x equal to 1, x equal to 2, x equal to 0, x equal to 100, x equal to 1000, x equal to 1 million, or negative 1000, negative 1 million. I can put any value of x. Right? That's no issue. So domain cover the complete x-axis. Domain cover the complete x-axis. So we can say domain in this case is all such x where x is any real number. X is any real number. So here domain is all real number. You can put any value of x. Now what is range? So range is out. Range is out. Output means y values. So what are the y values? So as you can see this point, this is negative 2, negative 4, negative 6, negative 7, negative 7. This point is negative 7. So value of y is always greater than negative 7. Value of y is always greater than negative 7 and y is never less than negative 7. So range here is all such y where y is greater than or equal to negative 7. So that is the range of this function. I hope you understand what is domain and what is range and how do you identify domain and range from the graph of the function. Let's take one more example. Say in this function, domain is yes, all real number because you can put any value, any number in place of x. So domain we can say all such x where x is any real number. Right? And what is range? So range is this value, right? This. So that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 7. So value of y is always less than 7 or equal to 7. Value of y is always less than or equal to 7. So we can say that range is all such y where y is less than or equal to 7. So this is domain and this is range. Fine. Now, next is y-intercept. So what is y-intercept? So any function touches y-axis at a particular point, and that point gives us y-intercept. And how do we find y-intercept? To find y-intercept, simply put x equal to 0 in the given function. For example, we have y equal to negative x squared minus 2x plus 3. If you put x equal to 0, we get y equal to negative 0 square minus 2 times 0 plus 3, which is 0 plus 3 or simply 3. So y-intercept is 3. So that we can see here. Y-intercept of the function is. So whenever we graph quadratic function, always look out for y-intercept and that is very easy to find. For example, the quadratic function is y equal to ax square plus bx plus c. What do you get when you put x equal to 0? We get y equal to c only. Correct. We get y equal to c. So y equal to c itself is y-intercept. So the c value itself is y-intercept. So it is very easy to identify. Correct. Now, axis of symmetry. Axis of symmetry. What is axis of symmetry? Quadratic function is always symmetrical about a vertical line. There will always be a one vertical line. There will always be a one vertical line about which the given quadratic function or graph of given quadratic function is symmetrical. And that vertical line is known as axis of symmetry. For example, this is the graph of a quadratic function and that is symmetric about this line. So this line is known as axis of symmetry. Here, the equation of this line is x equal to half, right? Any vertical line is always of the form x equal to some number, let's say constant number, correct? So any vertical line is always of the form x equal to some number, x equal to constant. So here it is x equal to half, right? Because this point is half. Correct. So this is axis of symmetry. And each and every quadratic function will always have axis of symmetry. Correct. So how do we find equation of axis of symmetry? So we have a standard formula for that. If the quadratic function is y equal to ax square plus bx plus c, axis of symmetry is given by this formula. X is equal to negative b over 2a. X is equal to negative b over 2a. For example, in this question, our function was y is equal to x square minus x minus 6. So axis of symmetry is negative b over 2a. So first we need to identify what are values of a, b and c. So a is 1, b is negative 1 and c is negative 6, right? I just compare it with ax square plus bx plus c, y equal to ax square plus bx plus c. So axis of symmetry is x is equal to negative b over 2a. So which is negative of negative 1, negative b is negative of negative 1. 2a is 1. So what we get? X is equal to 1 over 2. And that was the axis of symmetry. Right? So this is how we get axis of symmetry. Negative b over 2a. We need to remember this. Right? Now, vertex of parabola. So axis of symmetry intersect the parabola at a point. And that point is known as a vertex. Axis of symmetry intersect the parabola at a point, and that point is known as vertex. Now, parabola can be open upward or parabola can be open downward. So here this is vertex and here this is vertex. The question is, when do we have open upward parabola and when do we have open downward parabola? So see, parabola or a quadratic function is of the form ax square plus bx plus c. Whenever a is positive, whenever a is positive, we have parabola open upward. And whenever a is negative, we have parabola open downward. Remember this. This is very important thing. Whenever a is positive. That is, coefficient of x square is positive, greater than 0. Then we have open upward parabola. Whenever we have a negative, that is coefficient of x square negative, we have parabola which is open downward. Correct. Remember this. This is very important thing. Right. Now, this is the question. Which is the graph of parabola y equal to negative half x square plus 1. So see, with x square, what is multiplied? Negative half. So we have a is equal to negative half, b is equal to 0. We do not have any coefficient of x, and c is equal to 1. So a is negative half. Negative half means less than 0. Less than 0 means open downward. We have a parabola which is open downward. So open downward means you can straight away eliminate option A and option C. Now, y-intercept. What is y-intercept? Y-intercept is positive 1. That is value of C only. Right? If you put x equal to 0, y is equal to 1. And that is y-intercept. Here y-intercept is negative 1. And here y-intercept is positive 1. So obviously D is not the answer and D is the answer. So this is how we can identify the correct graph from given options. Fine. I hope you understood this. Now, let's do two questions of graphing the parabola. First question. Parabola given is x square plus 4x plus 6. Y equal to x square plus 4x plus 6. We need to find equation of axis of symmetry. So what we do first? We first find value of A, value of B, and value of C. So A is whatever is multiplied with x square. So that is 1. B is 4. That is multiplied with x. And C is constant number. That is 6. Now, axis of symmetry. Equation of axis of symmetry is given by x is equal to negative b over 2a. So in this case, negative 4 over 2 times 1 or negative. So x equal to negative 2 is axis of symmetry. Right? So equation of axis of symmetry is x equal to negative 2. Now, coordinate of vertex. Coordinate of vertex. See, how do you find vertex coordinate? So x coordinate of vertex is negative. Remember, x coordinate of vertex is negative only. That is from axis of symmetry only. So x coordinate is negative. Right? What is y coordinate? So for finding y coordinate, in this equation, you put x equal to negative 2. So I put negative 2 square plus 4 times negative 2 plus 6. So that is 4 minus 8 plus 6. So that is 10 minus 8 or simply. So negative 2 comma 2, negative 2 comma 2 are the coordinates of vertex. So vertex is negative 2 comma 2. So here in the graph, it will be somewhere around here. Now, will it be open up or open down? So coefficient of x square is 1. That is a is 1. And 1 is positive. 1 is positive. So it will be open up like this. It will be open up. Correct. What is y-intercept? Y-intercept is 6. So y-intercept is 6. Correct. Now this function will be symmetrical. This function will be symmetrical. It means from here to here, this distance is 2 unit. This distance is 2 unit. And this is axis of symmetry. This is axis of symmetry. And this distance is 2 unit. So this distance also 2 units. So here we will have 1 point over here. Correct. Now, we can find coordinate of few more points. We can find coordinate of few more points. Suppose at x equal to -1, what is value of y? I'm first doing this question, then I'll come to second C part later on, right? See. So what is value of y when x is -1? So when x is -1, y is -1 square plus 4 times -1 plus 6. So that is 1 minus 4 plus 6, 7 minus 4, 3. So 3. So what is value of y when x is -3? No need to find. No need to find, right? Because this graph will be symmetrical about this line, x equal to -2, right? This is symmetrical about this line. So from here to here, this distance is 1 unit. So from here to here also, this distance will be 1 unit only. Got it? Now we can graph the function. So approximately we can graph it like this. Graph will go like this, and it will go up, right? Here also same way. Graph will go up like this and like this, right? Now, C bar. Check whether the vertex is maximum or minimum. So, minimum value of y is 2. Minimum value of y is 2. Y cannot be less than 2. Y cannot be less than 2. So here vertex is minimum. Correct? Here vertex is minimum. So here it is minimum. So I hope you understand the question. So what is happening here? First of all, we identify values of A, B, C. Then equation of axis of symmetry given by x equal to -b over 2a. Whatever x value we get, right? That is the x coordinate of vertex. That is the x coordinate of vertex. To find y coordinate of vertex, we put this x value into main function. We get y value, and that will give us coordinate of vertex. And then you identify y-intercept, which is just c values, and then we can graph it, right? You can find coordinates of few more points for better accuracy of your graph, right? So let's do one more question of this type. So now here, the parabola is y equal to -x square minus 2x plus 3. And we need to find the same thing, right? So first of all, we identify what are values of A, B, and C. So A here is -1, B here is -2, and C is 3. So first, axis of symmetry. So axis of symmetry is x is equal to -b over 2a. That is negative of -2 over 2 times -1. Correct? So which is 2 over -2, which is -1. So -1 is x equal to -1, right? X equal to -1 is the axis of symmetry. So parabola will be symmetric about this line, x equal to -1. Now, second part, coordinate of vertex. X coordinate of vertex will be -1 only. To find y coordinate of vertex, put x equal to -1 into this equation. So negative of -1 square minus times -1 plus 3. So what we get is -1 square is 1 plus 2 plus 3. 3 plus 2, 5 minus 1, 4. So y is equal to 4. So negative 1 comma 4 is the vertex. So negative 1 comma 4. So this is the vertex, right? Now, will it be open up or open down? As you can see, coefficient of x square is -1, negative. So that's why it will be open down. What is y-intercept? Y-intercept is 3. So y-intercept 3 over here. So at x equal to 0, y is 3. So at x equal to -2, also y will be 3 because function is symmetric. Let's find one or two more value. So if I put x equal to 1, we get y is equal to -1 minus 2 plus 3. So at x equal to 1, y is equal to 0, right? X equal to 1, y is equal to 0. So 1 comma 0 is a point on the graph. So 1 comma 0 is here, right? So from here to here, 2 unit. So same way from here, 2 unit, we will have this thing. So negative 3 comma 0 is also a point, right? Now we can graph it, right? Now we can graph it. So the graph will be like this. We join with smooth curve, right? We join with smooth curve like this. And it will go down. We can find values for some other points. So this is the graph. And check whether the vertex is maximum or minimum. So here the maximum value of y coordinate is 4. So that's why the vertex is maximum. So here the vertex is maximum. Right? So with this, we finish today's session. I hope you like this session. Thank you.